Okay, I lied. I want to be cringe because thinking back, right, all these people that are kind of annoying, kind of cringe, I've always looked up to them because how do they have the lack of self awareness to express themselves so freely? Is that really cringe? Is that really a lack of self awareness? Or is that just not being as narcissistic? I came across the idea of healthy narcissism recently. Maybe it's not accurate to describe it as such. It's more of a healthy self interest, or, like, in other words, self love, maybe. So these cringe people have enough self love or rather, they have been given the love and support to develop that self love early on in life, I guess. And now they are able to freely express themselves without any worry of people not liking them, because that's just a truth. And so, what does this mean? All right, what am I yapping about? So, to not be cringe, one must be cringe. Because for the longest time, I think not wanting to be cringe has actually damaged my ability to be myself. It goes hand in hand with perfectionism as well. I'm so afraid of being bad at something because being bad is cringe. Even now, I'm self-conscious because these walls are thin and my mom or my neighbors might hear me yapping to myself, you know, showing a side of myself I don't normally portray. That shit holds me back. Then there is the fear of perception that most of us have to some degree. So in the previous example, these very unself-aware people who kind of just push their opinions, or not push, just yap their opinion. Yeah, just very openly express their opinions. There is an amount of being cringe that comes from having a healthy amount of self-love, because it's a pretty sad world to live in if you are scared of expressing yourself, because inevitably this is cringe. I hate this. That's a voice in my head shouting at me right now, like, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? Oh my god. Yeah, everything is cringe. And so this need to be perfect stops me from doing anything, and that might be the same for you. Perfectionism for me comes from a place of, yeah, just being perceived in a way that I don't want to be perceived. What does that say about me? Do I want people to think I'm perfect? Am I afraid of criticism? Exactly. So that is that egocentric behavior, that egocentric way of thinking that causes us to even think of certain things as cringe. There is a point where we may have to let go and trust ourselves to just speak, let whatever comes out come out. You know, we don't want to be constipated our whole lives. That's not a very healthy way to live. When I was a gamer, I sometimes went without taking a shit for, a week at a time. And that was just because I was sitting there for 8 hours every single day, sometimes more. So yeah, that's the same here. We don't want to be gaming, seated for 12 hours a day. We don't want to be so stuck up with our inability to express ourselves. So to not be cringe, we must let ourselves be cringe. Because even if people don't accept it, it's quite freeing to just let it out. Get that 10-year-old piece of shit out of your system. Flush it down. It is time. Let it go. It's okay.